Hello everyone and welcome to game 2 in this series between Empire's Happy versus Empire's Kaz. Now we see Kaz spawning on the top right hand side of the map as the blue Terran player. Meanwhile, Happy spawning as the yellow Terran player here on the top left hand side of the map. Terran versus Terran here on Shakura's Plateau. And based upon these locations, I do expect to see some Banshee play or some sort of drop play because it is relatively close by air. Now, a lot of you guys have been commenting about my current sound situation and my current video situation. I gotta make a response. I do know what I'm doing, and unfortunately all of the software that I had, there was a recent update. It no longer allows me to record in mono. So before, if you guys didn't notice, you guys were actually listening to me in mono, the same audio coming in left and right, so you didn't actually hear positional sounds, and now it no longer works. I'm using an older encoding method that does allow me to still record in mono, but I am going to be upgrading to some stereo equipment after a trip that I will be doing here in the next couple of weeks. More on that later. It is going to cost me about some more money, $100 or so, as we now see, a very early proxy racks coming in from Happy. All right, what is this? Now we also see that there is a refinery coming into play as well. And normally I would not say that this strategy is going to work, but Happy is going to completely catch his opponent off guard. Now, unless Kaz does set up a bunker up over here, which is standard practice if you are trying to go for early Banshees, or if you try to wall off here, that will work, but I don't know if actually Kaz is going to be doing that. Happy does have his barracks off over here. He is going to be able to set up his factory and his starport here if he wants to. And now we are seeing a second SCV making its way over as well. No, this is a full-on proxy marauder push, as Happy now adding on a tech lab. SCV now wandering around off over here. He did find his opponent. I don't know if Kaz actually spotted him, as we now could see perhaps double bunkers. A bunker here and then perhaps another bunker here would be all it would take. SCV now wandering around inside here. Kaz is going to perhaps now spot this one barracks, and this is going to be huge. Is he actually going to spot it is the question. And is it just right outside of... No, it is within sight range, and here we go. Concussive shell. Happy now sees it, or Happy now laughing. And now we are going to have two SCVs and one Marauder making its way up the ramp. This is going to be huge, as we are now going to see the SCVs. And now the one Marauder, the Marine, not going to get taken down. SCVs now coming over as well. You can see damage is being dealt. The Marauder getting in some easy shots here, trying to take down that one Marine. And the SCVs are going to try to come over and surround. Some damage is still being dealt here. The Marine is coming in, and how much damage can be done? Both sides still batting up as a second Marauder now joining in on the fight. The Marauders still do not have concussive shell, but they do have a superior range. And now where are they going to go? SCV needs to get taken down. Is it going to stop? Yes, it is going to stop here. The Marines could get taken down as well. The Marauders, the Marauders did not take down the Marines, and that was huge. Each of those Marines had one more shot on them left. Instead of focusing on the bunker, if he had focused down the Marines, that would have been enough. All right, here we go. What's going to be happening? We are getting a Reaper off over here. The Marauders could concussive cell and slow down this Hellion. The Hellion pretty much has nowhere to run. Is it going to be able to go anywhere? It is going to get slowed down. The Marauder. One Marauder does get taken down by that Blue Flame Hellion attack. That was beautifully done, but we are going to be now going into a Reaper. We have SCVs now trying to set up over here. We can see that the Hellion is not going to be able to make its way in at all, but then the Hellion could perhaps try to torch these SCVs. The building, however, does take a little bit of damage, and it looks like one SCV will get taken down. The SCV trying to battle it up. It looks like that SCV will get taken down here. We could get a new Hellion off over here in just a moment, as the Marauder now trying to return back. This Reaper needs to get up onto the high ground. Not quite sure why it isn't doing exactly that, as the Hellions are now wandering around. Alright, so this game did not open up anywhere where I expected it to, as we are now going to see a Reaper come in along the backside. Let's take a look at the worker kill count, 3-1. Harvester count is 17-22. In comes the Reaper. The Reaper going after those lower hit point SCVs, and now being forced to run away from the Hellion. It does get taken down, though. And what is the kill count? 4 workers to 3. Harvesters, 18-21. Kaz with a slight advantage, but also with a much larger army. Happy now I'm trying to get up a Viking. Meanwhile, Kaz getting up a medevac who is going to strike first. The Viking, if it does shoot it down, would be a huge upset. We can see now a reactor trying to be added onto the barracks here, but I believe Kaz is going to deal a lot of damage with this drop here, just beyond sight range, I believe. No, just in sight range, as the Hellions are now coming in. The Marines are trying to engage, the Hellions trying to fight back as well. Marines and Hellions with the medevac support, and I believe this is going to be all she wrote, as those SCVs are lining up only to get flamethrowered. Hellions now battling it up again. A Viking now in ground mode, the exact thing that Happy needed in order to engage here, and it looks like Happy is going to be able to perhaps run away with all these units. Viking now in the air. The medevac is a little bit slower, and this is going to be a huge loss if the Happy can just attack down that medevac. The medevac now down to 28 hit points. One more round of missiles will take it down. Oh, I forgot about the armor. Now one more round of missiles will take it down. Oh, now going into ground mode. This is huge. Nope. The medevac jumps back over to try and clear it. The medevac now down to 2 hit points. Where is that Viking gonna go? The Viking could have dealt some damage, but not much. There is not much of an army there. And if that Hellion or if that Viking actually went into ground mode here, it could have actually taken down the Marine and the Hellions as well, and won out in that battle. Viking now gonna come back over here, perhaps be repaired. We are now going into a medevac for Happy. Both sides with rather small armies. Both sides are just doing a micro war style in this matchup, as we are now going into perhaps another drop. The Viking full on hit points now, looking to deal damage. We'll see what's going to be happening. We also see that the medevac has been repaired back up to 100%. There is also a Viking here as well. This Viking of Happy is not going to deal much damage at all, as a second Viking now making its way out as well. 2 Vikings better than 1. Those Vikings are going to have air superiority. This Happy's Viking now needs to retreat, as we are now going into a Viking versus Viking battle. This is not good news at all. The Hellions not going to be able to attack at all, as the Vikings with that super long range of 9 able to deal a lot of damage here. Those Vikings can just patrol right here. Kaz now running up on a second base as well. His income is simply through the roof compared to Happy's, and not much damage is being dealt at all. Perhaps this is just going to be your straight up walk into the main base here, or the natural expansion. There are Hellions and Marines, siege tanks without siege tech. Spoke too soon. This siege tank will be sieging in just a second now, and then it will cover up a lot of the high ground. Hellions now trying to battle it up. The Hellions are getting in a lot of damage with the siege tank up on the high ground, going to clean up this attack very easily. Medevac now picking up all the units, now trying to unload once more. Is it going to be able to deal enough damage here? I do not believe so. I believe Kaz is going to take the game, as Happy gives the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 2 in this series.